north to south, coast to coast. This is the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Your telephone number is 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. Let's go through some of the reactions. Impeachment is a doomed prospect. After special counsel Robert Mueller's testimony yesterday, a senior correspondent for ABC News contended. ABC's Terry Moran speculated House Speaker Nancy Pelosi would be unwilling to heed lawmakers' calls for impeachment proceedings, which are likely to be unpopular with the American public. The impeachment is over, he said. I don't think Nancy Pelosi is going to stand for her members bringing forth something that is going to be an obvious loser in the Senate and an obvious loser with the American public. Fox News contributor, former federal prosecutor Andy McCarthy said on Fox and Friends that his biggest takeaway from the Mueller hearing was the staff-driven nature of the Russia probe. It's inconceivable that Robert Mueller ran the investigation. One thing is evident in 7 hours of testimony, that he only had a remote familiarity with his own report and the investigation. It was actually staff-driven, and that's what the president has been saying all along. President Trump emerged victorious following special counsel Robert Mueller's appearances yesterday before the House Judiciary Committee and House Intelligence Committee, according to Lindsey Graham. Senator Graham said that Donald Trump is stronger today than at any time in his presidency. Anti-Trump figures had used Mueller in hope of advancing their agenda, Graham said, adding that the hatred for Trump knows no bounds. House Democrats, according to Politico, hoping to turbocharge the push to oust President Trump, are disappointed. They were hoping for a blockbuster show on Wednesday. Instead, they're left trying to regain momentum in their drive to oust President Trump from office. Former special counsel Robert Mueller's feeble performance before Congress will not resolve the internal party struggle over impeachment or do much to sway public opinion to their favor. Drew Weston, a professor at the Department of Psychology and Psychiatry at Emory University and founder of Western Strategies, make that Weston Strategies, a strategic messaging firm, said this: Democrats fell all over themselves at yesterday's televised House hearings to thank former special counsel Robert Mueller, deservedly for his service as a decorated Marine, a career public servant, and a patriot. Republicans impugned his integrity and that of his investigation and his team. Although Mueller showed loyalty to his team, he did not allow that loyalty to be pushed to his country. Whether he is cognitively impaired, as he seemed not to know the name of positions of some of his key witnesses, notably the former Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski, or had simply misplaced his spine, he appeared to be lost. Why the man showed such courage on the battlefield, showed such timidity and hesitation yesterday, requiring members of Congress to read him a bedtime story because he could not even read his own words aloud, is unclear. Americans needed a definitive, plain language, non-legalistic statement from Mueller about the one and only question: did President Trump and his henchmen and women commit a crime? Yeah, okay, thanks, Drew. I really appreciate the bias on that one. Former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe, incapable of knowing when to sit down and shut up, said this: those thinking Robert Mueller's testimony would breathe life into the report on his Russia investigation were destined to be disappointed. McCabe, whom former U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions fired in March of 2018 for committing 3 violations of the Bureau's ethics code, said Mueller's testimony before 2 U.S. House panels was not surprising. He acted exactly like some have expected. Director Mueller delivered exactly the performance that I think and I believe many people expected. He was obviously incredibly cautious, did everything humanly possible not to go beyond the 4 corners of the report. Robert Mueller began his testimony affirming the rule that prosecutors should not comment about decisions not to prosecute any subject of an investigation. The former special counsel said that he would follow the direction of the Justice Department and not go beyond the words of the report. Yet Mueller repeatedly violated this rule by suggesting the reason he did not indict President Trump was because of a Justice Department opinion stating that a sitting president cannot be indicted. No such clear-cut statement appears in the Mueller report itself, nor in the letter jointly written by the Office of the Attorney General and the Office of the Special Counsel. What the letter said was, the Attorney General has previously stated the special counsel repeatedly affirmed that he was not saying that, but for the OLC, Office of Legal Counsel opinion, that he would have found the president obstructed justice. He actually said the opposite in the first hearing before the Senate Judiciary Committee, and then backtracked it before the House Intelligence Committee. Those words from Alan Dershowitz. Mueller testimony was confusing and contradictory. Barbara McCade, opinion columnist, said this: don't let Robert Mueller's understated performance fool you. Some people expressed disappointment the former special counsel did not deliver more impassioned testimony when he appeared before the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees. Perhaps we've all seen too many movies and television shows in which the star lawyer gives a riveting closing argument that spurs everyone to stand and cheer. Instead, we saw a prosecutor behaving the way prosecutors should behave. Cautiously, carefully, and with restraint. I'm sorry. I'm thinking in the background of this, I'm saying that, no, this particular man did not behave as a prosecutor. He would have made a decision on obstruction of justice if he was behaving as a prosecutor, one way or another. The flim-flammery, the lawyer-asking of the staff report that Mueller simply was the titular the titular leader of, would have precluded such stupid shenanigans. But remember, this is an Andrew Weissmann story. This is a guy who was a leftist lawyer, a radical trying to take down a president. That's the major prime mover in all of this reporting. No, that's not the way a prosecutor should behave. If a prosecutor was in charge of that investigation, it would have been over in probably half the time. By the way, Ms. McCade comes out with devastating facts. Among them, Mueller investigations did not exonerate President Donald Trump. Prosecutors don't do that. Russian interference was not a hoax, and the investigation was not a witch hunt. Russian interference was not a hoax. Trying to tie President Trump to it was a hoax. Again, this is simple intellectual dishonesty. Russian interference was not a hoax. The investigation was not a witch hunt. Wrong. Russia interfered in our election in a sweeping and systematic fashion. True. Russia worked to benefit Trump as a candidate in the 2016 presidential election. Poppycock. Trump developed messaging strategies around the release of stolen emails. Yeah. He said, this is why you're electing me as the president of the United States. The president lied and directed others to lie to hide those facts. The president had a conversation about his White House counsel changing his story. That, by the way, was reported by the White House counsel in testimony for Robert S. Mueller III, which is how it made it in the report in the first place. If the president had been more astute, he would have exerted executive privilege, and none of that would have been in the report at all. You cannot mistake. You see, this is the thing. These politicians that are trying to explain Donald Trump or categorize Donald Trump or politic against Donald Trump, they are completely and totally disarmed when they are not dealing with a politician, with politician ethics, ideas, and dishonesty. When you got somebody who's just honest and said, I didn't do anything wrong, they don't know what to do. They keep trying to put Donald Trump in a political context. It's not doable. He's not a politician. Newt Gingrich. The biggest conclusion I reached after watching Robert Mueller in front of Congress was that he clearly did not have a detailed knowledge of the report. He failed to answer more than 200 questions. He was frequently not familiar with the citations from his own report. On several key points, he contradicted his own report and his own letters to Attorney General William Barr. When he said he never asked his team their political views, I believe him. It also signals that the most charitable conclusion you could reach, that Mueller had come of age in an era of professional responsibility and did not realize that he now lived in an era of harsh, even vicious, partisanship. The more I watched Mueller, the more I came to the conclusion that he was a figurehead. The tough, younger, Trump-hating Democrats had networked with each other and assembled a legal team dedicated to destroying President Trump and protecting Hillary Clinton. However, the more I watched him, the more I came to the conclusion that he had been a figurehead. Seen from that perspective, it's a tribute to President Trump that despite the best efforts of these deeply hostile prosecutors, they simply could not find any evidence of serious wrongdoing. They could write innuendo, they could huff and puff, says Newt Gingrich, but in the end, Trump's wall of obeying the law withstood the best these smart, tough, widely experienced Democrat prosecutors could do. After a sterling career, including the Bronze Star for heroism as a Marine in Vietnam, and a decade as FBI director after 9/11, Robert Mueller's last turn in the global spotlight will be remembered as a botch. This from Mike Allen, Jonathan Swan, Elena Treen of Axios. There had been whispers in both parties about his faculties at age 74, and they became a roar yesterday as he stumbled through back-to-back appearances before the House Judiciary and Intelligence Committees. Despite the takeaway that Mueller rejected Trump's claim of exoneration, Team Trump savored the former special counsel's faltering performance. Giuliani, President Trump's legal team texted, once again the case falls apart. If Mueller didn't write the report, as his disastrous testimony made clear, who did? This is like a grade B horror movie with Nadler and Schiff as the stars. Remember, the hand keeps coming up. You have to bat it down 4 or 5 times. It's getting easier, and it may become a satirical comedy. Soon it will be the end, and the credits will appear. Pelosi, for her part, immediately rebuffed Gerald Nadler about impeachment. Politico reports that House Judiciary Chairman Jerry Nadler pushed to launch impeachment proceedings against President Donald Trump during a closed-door meeting yesterday, only to be rebuffed by Nancy Pelosi, according to 4 sources familiar with the discussions. Mueller's appearance was a disappointment to many Democrats as the former FBI director stumbled at times, even seemingly unsure of the contents of his own report on Russian election interference. Pelosi convened the Democrat caucus after Mueller's appearance before the Judiciary and Intelligence panels. A lengthy animated discussion about the impeachment process followed. Sources said rank-and-file lawmakers asked about the technical aspects of an impeachment, including whether it would require a full vote of the House or could be initiated by the Judiciary Committee. It would require a full vote of the House. The only thing that we have to cover before we can walk away from this topic, at least until something else dredges it back up again, is this. What does the Hollywood left think? Well, we got to cover that, don't we? I mean, seriously. We have to cover that. By the way, we also have to cover this, and I hope that there's a congressional inquiry. The congresswoman from Arizona talked about having a cable subscription for $50. Mike Renwee on the Wells Report, Facebook.com Wells Report chat room said, who has a cable subscription for just $50? That's a darn good question, darn it. I'm just saying. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. We'll be back with more in just a moment. This is the USA Radio Network.
Hi, I'm Wade Alaroot for AMP Fest 19. AMP Fest 19 is the most entertaining political event and Trump Fest of the year for any conservative who wants to be empowered and entertained, or for any Trump superfan who wants to just have a blast. If that's you, head to the Trump Doral Hotel on October 10th to 12th in sizzling, sexy Miami, Florida. Headliner speakers at AMP Fest 19 include Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Dinesh D'Souza, Charlie Kirk of the Turning Point USA, Brandon Straka of the Walkaway Movement, and of course yours truly, Wade Alaroot. I love that guy. But this is more than a traditional political event or Trump Love Fest. AMP Fest 19 features a Texas Hold'em poker tournament, golf tournament, comedy night, pool party, yacht party, fashion show, movie screening, Women for Trump social, and prayer breakfast hosted by Alveda King. To register for AMP Fest 19, just go to AmericanPriority.com. That's AmericanPriority.com. It all happens October 10th to 12th at the Trump Doral in sizzling, sexy Miami. I'll see you there. AmericanPriority.com.
If you're over the age of 50 and considering buying an annuity in the next 60 days, I have some important news for you. Don't buy an annuity until you understand the pros and cons of annuities. A free book to help you maximize your retirement income from television host and three-time author Josh Melberg has been released. This book reveals little-known truths about annuity strategies in simple-to-understand terms. Grab a pen right now because we are about to offer you this free book that unlocks the 5 little-known secrets we believe baby boomers and seniors should know before buying an annuity. Call 800-985-1813 now and you'll receive a free copy of Josh Melberg's book, Next Gen Annuity Strategies Revealed. As a bonus, we'll also send you a copy of The #1 Mistakes Retirees Are Making with Their Investments Today and a free DVD on how you can get up to 33% more income in retirement. Call 800-985-1813 now. Again, that's 800-985-1813. Employees of J.D. Melberg Financial have the appropriate licenses for the products they offer.
Money, 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 money. You gotta have it. When you need it, what do? If you don't have a rich uncle, call LendingTree. With us, hundreds of banks compete for your business, so you'll get loans with competitive interest rates, and in some cases, with no closing costs. So here's the deal. If you need money, call us. Do you want to refinance your current loan? Are you 62 or older and interested in a reverse mortgage? Then call LendingTree now. 800-634-1315, 800-634-1315. We've closed over $250 billion in loans. We know what we're doing and can help you. Call right now for a free quote. 800-634-1315, 800-634-1315, 800-634-1315. That's 800-634-1315. NMLS number 1136.
Hey travelers, do you want to save money on your next flight? Then pick up the phone and call. That's right, call, because the best prices are not online. They're with SmartFares. See, SmartFares has special deals with the airlines. When they have unsold seats, they use SmartFares to fill them. So you get airline tickets at ridiculously low prices. Our prices are too low to publish online. With the extra money you'll save, you can book another trip or treat yourself to dinner or shopping. So stop searching all of those travel sites to find the lowest price on your next flight. Let one of our SmartFares expert travel agents find ridiculously low prices for you. Call SmartFares today and get the best price on your next flight. Guaranteed. Also, save up to 50% off business and first-class tickets.
800-871-3291. 800-871-3291. Again, that's 800-871-3291.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Liberal filmmaker Michael Moore actually had some pretty good analysis of this particular sad epic of political gobbledygookian run-amokness. Liberal activist filmmaker Michael Moore delivered a scathing review of special counsel Robert Mueller's testimony. A frail old man, unable to remember things, stumbling, refusing to answer basic questions. I said it in 2017. Mueller confirmed it today. All you pundits, moderates, and lame Democrats who told the public to put their faith in the esteemed Robert Mueller, just STFU from now on. Yep. There are a lot of people that need to do that. I wonder if they're going to take Mr. Mueller or Mr. Moore's advice. They should. Alyssa Milano. The reason you did not indict Donald Trump was because of the OLC, the Office of Legal Counsel opinion, stating that you could not indict a sitting president. Is that correct? Yes. Unfortunately, Ms. Milano, he would walk back that statement later on in the afternoon, something you missed. John Cusack. Yep, obstruction all day long. This, basically the whole thing. Talking about the OLC opinion. Again, refuted by Mueller later that same day. Obstruction all day long? No. It is essentially innuendo disguised as obstruction all day long. Rachel Dracht was among the first to comment on the Mueller testimony. The act of looking forward to Mueller hearings is as if anything will come of it feels like having lunch with an ex that you're hoping to get back together with. Ooh. Yeah. OLC is the Office of Legal Counsel, says Piper Parabo. It assists the Attorney General as legal advisor to the President. OLC policy tells Mueller a sitting president cannot be charged with a crime. No, he cannot be indicted. So if a president commits a crime, Congress must use the power of impeachment. No, it's a high crime and misdemeanor. There are no high crimes and misdemeanors. Maria Shriver. Could it be we're simply witnessing a man with deep integrity who is cautioned with his words, and that we are comparing his style to the way people scream and yell today? Could this be two different styles, two different generations? Ron Howard. I'm hoping this widely viewed with open minds by interested citizens and voters so we don't have to depend entirely on pundits and social media for analysis. Hear, hear, Ron Howard. Yvette Nicole Brown, I take your question is the only way I'll be able to reply to the shrill and irrationally disgruntled from now on. Looking at you, at Louis Gohmert, you tried and failed. There's no crying in Congressing. Thank you, Ms. Brown. Appreciate your thoughts. These are celebrities weighing in. Kathleen Madigan, no matter what I'm asked the rest of the summer, I'm only responding with, it's not in my purview. James Vanderbeek, attention pundits. The impact of the whole Mueller investigation has less to do with this president than the presidency and what behavior we're okay with down the line. The only worthwhile conclusions are the one in which you could swamp Obama for Trump and still buy them. Thanks. Good job. Absolutely great job. John Leguizamo. Let's see, you best to be watching. I'm not playing. Okay, whatever. And then Mia Farrow. To Donald Trump, you have zero credibility, and soon it will be clear that all you did was obstruct justice at least 10 times. Ms. Farrow, you can't let propagandists do your thinking for you. That is simply my absolute most important advice to you. You're listening to the Wells Report. I am John David Wells. I am interested in what you think about all of this. It's been a couple of days or it's been a day. Have you had a chance to digest what you saw yesterday? What are your takeaways? 844-RADIO-US, 844-723-4687. I'm really looking forward to this being over. On one hand, I think it'll be a great thing. On the other hand, I'm kind of dreading what the Democrats are going to think up next to try to go after this president. You're listening to the Wells Report. Back with more in just a moment on the USA Radio Network.
Balance of Nature. Changing the world, one life at a time.
I'm loving my Balance of Nature. Since I started, I have not gotten one cold. I kind of fight everything. I get a little tickled, but it goes away.
It's just amazing the difference I felt. I want you to know how much I appreciate the counseling and so forth and your attention to your people. I have been a pretty big advocate for the Balance of Nature. I don't know how many truck drivers have asked me, how in the heck do you keep going at 88, 89 years old? I said, Balance of Nature. If they want to really enjoy some good health, get on Balance of Nature.
Experience the Balance of Nature difference for yourself. For a limited time, you can receive a 30% discount and free shipping on your first preferred order of Balance of Nature. Call 800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code USA.